Welcome, everyone, to another enlightening episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Maheen, and today we have the privilege of diving into the world of small business with an exceptional guest. Joining us is Faye Pang, the Canada Country Manager for Xero, a global small business platform with a staggering 3.95 million subscribers worldwide. Xero's mission, you ask? It is to make business beautiful. Faye brings a wealth of experience to the table, having previously played a pivotal role in launching the Uber Eats app in Toronto back in December 2015, scaling it from a mere 80 restaurants on launch day to an astonishing 20,000 partners by the time she moved on. Today, we're going to explore Xero's impact on the Canadian SME landscape, the unique ways they tailor their services for our Canadian market, and the remarkable collaborative approach they champion with accountants and bookkeepers. But first, Faye, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Maheen, and thank you so much for that warm intro.
Now, Faye, as Canadian SME Small Business Magazine's exclusive accounting software partner for the past 3 years, Xero has played a great pivotal role in our mission to supporting small businesses across Canada. Can you share how Xero views this partnership and its significance in supporting the SME landscape in Canada?
Wow, I can't believe it's been 3 years, first of all, so happy anniversary, Maheen. We feel really grateful for the partnership with Canadian SME Magazine and the whole ecosystem. It's been phenomenal. Our mission at Xero is to make life better for small businesses, their advisors, and the communities that they serve. And so it's always felt really in sync with what you all are trying to do at Canadian SME as well. When I think back to, that purpose of helping small businesses in Canada, we're just so aligned. And so there've been lots of really great outcomes from this partnership. Thinking through some significant moments, the Canadian Small Business Awards last year in 2023, probably one of my highlights through my entire time at Xero, being able to present the Technopreneur of the Year award, and seeing all of those great small business owners go across the stage and accept their award was just really heartwarming and such a great symbol for us of the potential of the Canadian small business ecosystem. And then thinking forward to this year, we're even more excited about sponsoring the Indigenous small business category now because we think that's such a underserved and important community within Canadian small businesses. And so really excited to be working with you and your team on that as well.
No, likewise, Faye. It's been a great pleasure working with the team for the past 3 years, and we would want to express our gratitude, for your unwavering support, which plays a very crucial role in bringing these small business owners to highlight the spotlight that they deserve. Now, to build onto this a bit more, from your perspective, Faye, what have been some of the key outcomes or success stories resulting from this partnership that have positively impacted Canadian SMEs? Because we have a bunch, we'd love to hear some from you.
Yeah, I think I touched on a couple already, but even going back to the small business awards, we made so many great connections that night with not just small business owners, but other folks that play in this ecosystem, other Canadian SME partners as well, that have resulted in us really thinking about how do we actually partner together to better serve small businesses. So that was one really great success story. Through the partnership, we've been able to run special features in the magazine, things like Dear Advisor, right? Really highlighting the fact that at Xero, we believe the best outcomes are had by working with an accountant or a bookkeeper. And so really leveraging that forum and that voice to provide a different perspective to small businesses. And then we're really proud of the fact that we've been able to dedicate some of our space in the magazine to some of our small business customers, giving them the chance to tell their story, right? Highlight their successes and maybe their lessons and failures as well to help bolster and strengthen the community of small businesses here in Canada. So just a handful of examples, but overall, we've been really excited about the outcomes that we've been able to drive.
And we're quite excited to continue to work with Xero to make such impactful collaborations within the community. Now, Faye, Xero has a strong global presence, including significant markets like New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. How does Xero tailor its services for the Canadian market, considering the unique challenges and needs of Canadian SMEs?
Yeah, it's really interesting because we've had great success, as you mentioned, Maheen, in other Commonwealth markets, and we landed here in Canada just over 5 years ago. So Candidly, there's a lot of regionalization that needed to happen, the ability to bill in Canadian dollar, et cetera, making sure that we had the right product market fit for both small businesses and their accountants and advisors as well. And so a lot of work has been done to figure out what are those unique jobs to be done that are Canadian, right? Based on the regulatory environment, the tax regime, et cetera. And then to take a build buyer partner approach, right? Is that something that Xero really needs to create? Or can we go into our ecosystem of 1,000+ apps and think about how we might bring that solution to bear for our customers? A couple of tangible examples for you. In 2018, we brought HubDoc into the fold, which is a Canadian startup at the time, doing some really, really amazing work in OCR, receipt capture, document fetching, and solving a big need for Canadian small businesses. In 2021, we made an acquisition of a company called TaxCycle, based out of Calgary, tax preparation software, again, for small businesses, but through those accountants and bookkeepers. So we've made a very deliberate and conscious choice to say, hey, is there homegrown Canadian product that can help bolster the strength of Xero? And then how do we bring that into our ecosystem? We're not always just about acquiring, we also build product.
Mhm.
One of the challenges in Canada has been, the lack of open banking and therefore the difficulty some small businesses have in getting their bank data into Xero. So one of the things that we did in the last year was build and launch a product called HubDoc Bank Statement Extraction, a product built right here in Canada for global Xero usage. And so that again is an example of how we're trying to regionalize the product to best serve Canadian customers.
Right. And to build onto that a bit more, Faye, we've had the pleasure of working with Humans and Simar, both are Xero's customers. And we've had the chance to really cover and feature their success story. To help our audience understand a bit more, Faye, can you share a unique story of a Canadian small business that has really thrived by leveraging Xero's platform?
Yeah, gladly. I mean, this is the best part of our jobs because we get to talk about the real human impact that technology can have. I'll give you an example of a small business called Goldilocks out of Western Canada. Amy and Brett, their mission is really to tackle plastic pollution around the world. And so they've created an incredible suite of products to help people live more sustainably. And Amy was running the business for the first 6 months of its conception and basically said, hey, like, I'm going to need some help. They gave all of their spreadsheets to accountant who immediately said, you got to be in Xero, right? Like there's so much rich technology and insight that can help you move away from working inside your business and more on your business and thinking about that future vision and where you want to take it. And so they now review month on month, not just their financial position, but what's the outlook. They have a full suite and set of reports that they can leverage, and they're just running their business a lot more beautifully. So it's a great example of our why here at Xero and what we hope to accomplish with small businesses, really leveraging technology to get more time back.
And we're quite excited to, from time to time, feature these successful business stories in our, upcoming editions. Now, Faye, let's delve deeper into one of the key aspects that sets Xero apart in the world of small business support. I mean, your strong emphasis on collaboration with accountants and bookkeepers. And this partnership model isn't just a buzzword; it's really a fundamental component of how Xero really operates and benefits small businesses. Faye, can you just delve a little bit deep into this? Like, how does this partnership model really benefit small businesses, and what tools does Xero provide to facilitate this collaboration?
Yeah, Maheen, it's actually one of the things that, was fundamental to Xero's founding over 17 years ago. Our founder, Rod Drury, had this vision and aspiration to better collaborate with his accountant in real time. And so he built Xero as a cloud native tool to be able to do that. And that ethos has stuck with us throughout our time as an organization and is still true today. In fact, we call accountants and bookkeepers our partner channel because we truly believe that together we're going to be able to better serve small businesses. The collaboration is so important. We know from our data that just over half of Canadian small businesses are regularly leveraging an accountant or bookkeeper, right? We believe that number should be higher because, again, our research shows that Xero is really powerful, but it's even more powerful in improving the success outcomes for a small business when it's in the hands of an accountant or a bookkeeper. right? That is the beautiful combination that really contributes to a small business's success. By using digital tools like Xero, small businesses and their advisors can make better strategic decisions together. And if I could give you an analogy, like think of it as a ship at sea, right? If that small business is a ship at sea, it could have the best equipment, it could be in tip-top shape, but it's never actually sailed that part of the ocean, and it doesn't know where it's gonna go without a proper map. And if I build on that analogy even further, it's even better when it has a captain who has sailed those seas before, right? So think of that as your accountant or bookkeeper. So there's so many ships out there in the small business world that are trying to make it on their own, and our belief is you need to have the best navigation system with Xero in the hands of a strong and capable captain to help you, brave those stormy seas.
But what's even more remarkable is how this collaborative approach has led to significant improvements for businesses, Faye. And let's consider a scenario where a small business was struggling with cash flow management. Faye, could you provide like an example of how this collaborative approach has led to significant improvements for a business?
Yeah, there's an example in my mind around actually like an architecture firm and Rob from Akachi, who basically worked with his accountant David to leverage the power of Xero, right? To build reports, to use our built-in cash flow and Analytics Plus to really understand how that might benefit his business. And so the outcome of that was actually further out forecasting, greater confidence in the business decisions that they can make. How many folks can we hire? Can we make that capital investment? And ultimately being able to navigate again those stormy seas in a smoother way.
Right. No, and in essence, Xero's collaboration with accountants and bookkeepers isn't just a feature. It's a philosophy on its own that empowers small businesses to really thrive. Now, let's dive a little deeper into integration with third-party apps. Now, with over 1,000 third-party apps that Xero connects with, how do you ensure that these integrations really add value to small businesses without overwhelming them with too many options?
Yeah, I think analysis paralysis is very real. And in fact, our research has shown that to be true. One of the things most holding back Canadian small businesses is this notion of like choice analysis, right? I just don't know where to start. I'm afraid of making the wrong decision. And so therefore, I'm going to stick with the status quo. We've seen that come up time and time again in our research. And so we've kind of designed the App Store, the Xero App Store with 1,000+ apps with that in mind, really trying to make it searchable, right? So having different categories, if whether you're looking for payroll or scheduling, benefits, etc. As an example, you can search for CRM for the hospitality industry, and you have all those examples come up, right? And potential apps that might fit the bill for you. We make it really easy with the search bar so that you can type in that and it'll surface the most relevant suggestions for you. We also invite customer feedback. So we actually have a rating system for the apps, which allows all of the users to provide their feedback, say what's great about it, what could be better. And then as a new person flipping through the App Store, you'll get that real time feedback around its fit for purpose and also what other subscribers are saying about that app. So we try to make it really searchable and intuitive to use because we understand that analysis paralysis is very real. And then on the internal side, we do a lot of work. We have an entire partnerships team, an ecosystem management team that is thinking about what are the best apps to integrate into Xero and how do we make their journey really easy such that we're developer friendly and we attract a really great collection of apps that best serve our small business customers and their advisors. So really making that as easy as possible for them to do and almost goal seeking, what are the jobs to be done for small businesses and how do we make sure we've got, a few choices for them at the very least within the App Store to fit their need.
Now, this transparency really allows business owners to make informed decisions about which integrations are most suitable for their unique needs. And this really adds value while ensuring that businesses aren't really overwhelmed by an access of options. But to back this up, Faye, can you highlight one or two, just one or two integrations that are particularly beneficial for Canadian SMEs?
Yeah, there's like two of our most popular categories are payments, right? Everyone needs to pay and more importantly, probably get paid. And so in that sphere, we have partners like Stripe and Go Cardless, PayPal, Canadian options like Helsum, and direct pay for interact payments. So really proud of the collection that we have within payments. And then secondly, payroll, right? As soon as you get bigger as an organization, you start to bump up against the need to do payroll, whether it's a handful of employees, 10, 20, et cetera. And so we've got some really great payroll partners within the Xero ecosystem, specifically here in Canada, folks like WagePoint and Payment Evolution, Rise and Payworks, just awesome options for our small business customers in the country.
Right. Now let's focus a little bit more, Faye, on the company culture and values. I mean, these two are very integral aspects of any organization, and Xero takes them to heart in a way that not only reflects positively on its internal environment, which I can witness, I can attest to it, but it also directly benefits its mission of helping small businesses to really thrive. Now, Faye, how does Xero's culture and values really contribute to its mission of helping small businesses achieve their goals and help them scale their business?
Yeah, I mean, you've experienced it firsthand, Maheen, working with my team, which I'm so proud to lead here in Canada. But yeah, our values are everything, right? Our mission and purpose to serve small businesses and their communities wouldn't be possible without an engaged, values oriented, mission driven team internally. So we think and we sweat a lot about the culture here at Xero and how we're constantly strengthening that and evolving it as needed. Really proud of the fact that this year, actually, we were awarded 9 Great Place to Work awards, everything from mental well-being, inclusion, Great Place to Work for women, and all of this is based directly on feedback from Xeros and benchmarked against other companies. So, real nice external validation of what we all feel internally and what our partners feel when they're working with us. If I could share a story about like the human value that's really core to everything that we do here at Xero, it's my own Xero story of how I got hired here. And I actually don't know if I've ever told you this, Maheen, but when I was interviewing for this role, I was 5, 6 months pregnant. So I knew there was a bit of a timeline. I ended up getting the offer to join Xero at 8.5 months. So basically right before my due date. But without skipping a beat, the company said, listen, we'll make you the offer. You can start in 2 weeks and take your maternity leave. And when you're ready to start your role, you could start your role. We'll top you up, give you the full benefits, support you and your family, and we're happy to take you when you're ready to start
Hmm.
me away, right? But it is such a good illustration of Xero's values and how it's not just words on a wall, but it's actually about walking the walk and talking the talk. And that shows up in how we deal with our partners. It shows up in our promises to our customers. It shows up in how we think about solving the human problems for our small business customers and their advisors. So it shows up in every element of our business.
I believe that. I believe that to the core. But Faye, it's so true. From what I've felt firsthand, is again, you all are there to make a meaningful impact on the lives of entrepreneurs and SMEs, and that is something which is, at the heart of Zero's mission overall. Now, to build onto this a bit more, Faye, how does this culture really influence the way that Zero's team interacts with and support its customers?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that it's sort of woven in through everything, but I think to give you another example, Maheen, it's our employee resource groups, right? We're so proud of these groups that have been spun up around the world to really offer community and connection to folks here at Xero. A really great example is our Black Xero's Employee Resource Group, or ERG, partnering with accounting and bookkeeping associations such as BFIN or the Indigenous ERG, which I'm very grateful to be an executive sponsor of, working alongside one of our small business owners, Chelsea from Ani, really sponsoring Truth and Reconciliation Day and trying to, do our small part in the path to reconciliation. And so the ERGs really inside out help drive that connection with the community, with our customers, to make sure frankly, to hold Xero accountable to its values and make sure that we're constantly living that in everything that we do.
It's amazing how Xero places such a strong emphasis on, again, customers and on diversity and inclusion and the love amongst your team, which is great. Now, lastly, Faye, what advice would you give to small business owners in Canada who are considering digital transformation, which is also our theme for our upcoming small business show? But we want to particularly focus in our podcast today, focus particularly on the accounting practices.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the short message is like, do it, right? No time like the present to think about that digital transformation journey and getting started. And don't be afraid of starting small. I think is taking that first step is just so important to get the ball rolling. More specifically, if you're a micro business, so someone who's doing a side hustle, start doing things digitally as soon as you can, right? It's going to be that, again, the first step to get the ball rolling. Um, Things like capturing your receipts digitally. You'd be shocked at how many small businesses are still carting their receipts in a shoebox into an accountant or bookkeeper at the end of the year. We all have tools and apps for that. So really seek those out. So as you grow, you've really nurtured this behavior and it can seamlessly blend into the rest of your tech stack. If you're a large business, I think one of the things that we're always hearing from small businesses is I wish I had more insights, both forward looking and backwards looking. And again, so lean into your relationship with your accountant or bookkeeper for that. They are the experts, they are the captains that have navigated the stormy seas. And so don't be afraid to lean into them and ask them for help. What are the best practices? What are the great reports that I can have access to? How can I get a better handle on where my cash flow is going to be 30, 60, 90 days from now so I can make better decisions and have more peace of mind?
No, you're right, Faye. With careful planning, the right tools, and a commitment to ongoing learning, the small business owners can really navigate this transformation successfully and position their businesses for long-term growth and success. Now, lastly, and on a final note, Faye, how does Xero ease the transition for businesses moving from traditional accounting methods to a cloud-based system?
Yeah, we over-index on this because we know that change is really hard. And so our team prides itself on really being partners in that change journey. And to your earlier question, working alongside accountant accountancies and bookkeeping firms to really help them digitize so that they can better serve small businesses. So we have a ton of resources here, best practices, change management, like certified change management professionals and experts on our team to help navigate that change, whether you're a small firm or a larger one. And then specifically on the small business side, we actually have an advisor directory on our website that you can leverage to find someone in your area that's going to be best served to help you. And we always recommend that you seek out that expert rather than try and DIY or do it yourself because they do really know Xero inside and out, and they can help you navigate that as a small business owner too.
Thank you so much, Faye. I mean, your presence really added a valuable dimension to our podcast today, and we couldn't be more appreciative of the time and knowledge that you shared with our audience and your dedication, your team's dedication to making business beautiful with Zero is evident and aligns perfectly with our mission to support and empower small businesses across Canada. And to that, we look forward to our fruitful partnerships in times to come. But thank you so much for being an exceptional guest and for contributing to the success of our podcast today.
Hey, thank you, Maheen. Thank you for having me, and thanks for our partnership as well.
And that's a wrap on yet another episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, your trusted source for small business insights and inspiration. A massive thank you to our incredible guest, Faye Pang, the Canada Country Manager for Xero, for sharing her valuable insights today. Before we go, we'd like to express our deep appreciation to our cherished partners. Firstly, our exclusive banking partner, RBC, our exclusive shipping partner, UPS, and last but not least, our exclusive accounting software partner, Xero, who empowers small businesses to streamline their financial operations and truly make business beautiful. Remember that Xero is here to support your journey towards business success. Stay tuned for more incredible stories and indispensable advice on the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Until next time, keep thriving, keep striving, and keep making business beautiful. Thank you.